It's time for some Bali outdoor adventures. We booked a full day of four-wheeler riding and river rafting through a tour company called Gorgeous Bali. The cost for that was 1 million rupiah per person, and that included 2 hours of riding, 2 hours of rafting, insurance, lunch and dinner, and transport to and from our villa in Snorkeling. Here's a tip though, if you are planning on sharing equipment with someone else, then you can actually usually negotiate a reduced rate. So for example, Chris and I used the same four-wheeler and we were able to reduce our cost from 1 million each to 850,000 each. Our driver picked us up from our villa in Snorkeling and we drove for about an hour and a half to an area a little north of Ubud, which was where the ATV site was. Once we arrived, we got geared up with boots and helmets. We're a little north of Ubud right now and we're about to go four-wheeling through jungle area, rice terraces, things like that, and then we're gonna go rafting. So we just had to put bags on our feet and then our feet inside these boots. Now, along with Chris, Cooper, and myself, our ride was accompanied with 2 others and a local guide. When we first took off, we were riding down a narrow paved road through a village and some rice terraces. This ride was actually pretty mild, but turns out that this was just the nice scenic entry into the jungle. Once we got through this though, the ride started to heat up a bit. After going for a while, we stopped to take a break with a breathtaking view. And at this point, we got to know our guide, Alex, a little bit. He told us that he just started learning English 8 months ago, and we were shocked by his fluency. He said that he was motivated to learn English so quickly because if you know English, then you can be a guide. But if you don't know English, then the alternative is washing the ATVs, which is what he did previously. He also told us that he just gave the same tour to the American singer Khaled just a couple of months earlier. Interestingly, he also shared with us what his pay was like. He said he makes 60,000 rupiah per day for a full day. That's $4 US. So pretty crazy relatively speaking, but we're really glad he shared that because it gave us some insight that we didn't previously have. Now actually that's pretty close to the minimum wage in Indonesia, which is about 125 US dollars per month. After finishing our break, we went back into the jungle, and this is where the ride started to get a little rough. After finishing up on the four-wheelers, we then left to go to the Ayung River for rafting. The Ayung River runs 43 miles and is actually the longest river on Bali. It's got class 2 and 3 rapids, which makes it a really popular destination for rafting. We got geared up with helmets, life jackets, and paddles. Just finished on the four-wheelers and now we are about to go rafting in the Ayung River. We then hopped on the back of a truck that would take us to the actual river site.
Man versus the elements. It's no game. What we're gonna do today, what we'll embark in, will be something of an experience, to put it lightly. Anyways, I hope that I see you guys again.
Once we got dropped off, we walked down these steep stairs for what felt like eternity.
We've been walking down these stairs for at least 10 minutes and it just keeps going down and down.
We walked down these stairs deep into the jungle until finally we could see the river. The water looked pretty murky, not gonna lie. Now, once we got into our raft, our guide gave us some very basic training on what to do with our paddles when he gave certain commands. And after about a solid minute of that, we were off. On another day, we went snorkeling right off the coast of Nusa Dua. This footage is gonna be all over the place. Yeah. We went through a company called Hot Dog Water Sports that was recommended by our driver at the time. Now, the price that they listed was 570,000 rupiah per person for an hour's worth of snorkeling. After a little bit of time negotiating, though, we were able to get that down to 430,000 rupiah per person for an hour and a half's time. With our goggles, fins, and snorkels, we got in the boat that took us out to the water. About to go snorkeling.
We've been out here for at least maybe 30 minutes. And it's pretty rough, pretty tough.
Yeah, dude. Y'all wish you had breakfast this morning?
Yeah. It's hard.
It's a weak organism. Yeah. Little plankton.
Yeah, I know, it's harder than I thought.
Pretty tough.
I feel like it's hard to like really go under.
You want to talk about a workout? Snorkeling is a lot rougher than I thought. Big workout.